we talked about how it was fire that Inojin actually got the cover. Also, the fact that he himself and Sumire were both like updated by Kashin Koji's training, which is like crazy to think about. Also, like the whole entire, I guess Ryzen brought up a very good point about the whole entire love dynamic. But Ryzen, you want to touch on that real quick before we
Yes.
get back?
So throughout TBV, we've seen these characters power up through love. That's what Jura is focusing on. He's noticed this multiple times. He saw Himawari act because of love. Even Inojin, to an extent, acted because of love and strengthened his resolve. So we have all these characters potentially experiencing grief in the other timelines, which Koji is using, because we find out that Inojin invented the specific jutsu later down the line. So that could have been potentially a timeline where Himawari died, because we know that Himawari still has death flags on her. So it's interesting to see how these characters power up in a hypothetical lost situation, because that's how shinobi power up. That's the core theme of Naruto. When you have someone you want to protect, or when you feel grief, that's when you become truly strong. Going back to the Land of Waves, to Haku's whole speech. So I really want to see where these other side characters go, because we're in a unique situation where Ikamoto can completely circumvent these like grief arcs and say, yeah, Shikadai in this timeline invented some new shadow jutsu because so and so died. Here's your jutsu, protect your loved one, keep them from dying. So I really want to see how far this goes.
Yeah, for a fact. To be honest, I really wish Kashin Koji would have let us know like how it went, like how everything ended. Like, did Inojin even put a dent into Jura?
Which,
Did he
adding on
just
to your
get packed
point,
up?
I really hope the anime does this. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be multiple episodes. A small snippet of the hypothetical future. I feel like that's really good anime material.
Yeah, it kind of gives me like future Gohan like flashbacks when we've seen like tiny bits and snippets of that. Yeah, that'd be fire.
To be honest, this is probably not going to happen, but I feel like these hypothetical timelines would make good little OVAs or like mini movies.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
because we have a 19-year-old Boruto hypothetically spending years learning the flying Raijin. He made it up till he was 19. That's when he got put down. I feel like that would be interesting, like what you said, future Gohan type thing. You see a future Boruto struggle for those 6 years until he gets put down by Jura and see exactly how that world ended up.
Yeah, that'd be fire. That would be fire. I'd for sure watch it 100%. And again, as you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be like full drawn out movies or anything like that. Even if it's just an OVA, 22 minutes or something like that, I'll be elated.
Man, if we had them Demon Slayer or My Hero niggas, you already know we would have had like 3 movies by now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for a fact. But as we go into the first topic of chapter 27, so it pretty much started off where it left off in the last chapter. The whole Ada, Sumire, and Sarada storyline, where it wasn't even Ada, to be honest. Damon was about to pack up Sumire and Sarada, but it turns out that he treated this as like a domination asserting event. It is kind of similar to what happened when he first met Kawaki and Boruto, when he just like showed them real quick, like I could still end you at any time.
Yeah, that's basically what we got. And I think I was saying before when we went live earlier, it's kind of like a fourth wall thing. It's like the writer telling the audience, it's like he still got more in his bag, and then him literally telling Sarada and Shuma like, hey, I can turn this up any minute I want with like the swing of my mood, bro. So just be mindful of that.
For a fact. Now, quick question: do we believe him? Because it could be a certain situation where Sarada could still like beat him, but he just believes she can't, and she didn't really want to like turn the situation up and like cause any commotion. So, do we believe him that he actually is like that's still a top dog? Well, at least in this room.
I feel like in this encounter, he does have a point, because for the amount of power that Sarada has, and she has tons of power, if she can't use her Mangekyo, it's a moot point, because he already grabbed her at that point. She was able to perceive his speed. That's amazing. But she wasn't able to react enough to where she could actually dodge him. Once he touched her, that was it.
Yeah.
In another situation with more planning, we could debate that. But like he said, in that specific situation, he had her. Like it doesn't matter how strong her visual prowess was. she wouldn't be able to use her Mangekyo in this circumstance.
Yeah. And I like how he
Mhm.
clarifies it's like before you even realize it, you're gonna be dead. So it's not even like something where you can think, try to prep or react. It's like, nah, bro, you're just gonna be dead. Your brain might still be operating, but your head's gonna be on the floor.
Not yet for a fact. To be honest, one of the things that I did like in this particular, I guess, chapter, it feels like a setup chapter, but we got like hardcore like plot points like all throughout the chapter.
Yeah.
Like for example, in this particular first scene, it's been speculated for literally years. How are Sarada and Sumire like invulnerable to whatever omnipotence that was casted by Ada and Amada or Ada and whoever else? It turns out that it seems like they're just friends that she wished for once the omnipotence was first cast. Which kind of, I don't. This was kind of a theory that some people had. I never really had this theory. Shout out to those people who actually did have this theory.
Me.
Kind of makes sense, right?
I'm just happy love. So thank you for that.
Right?
But-
And she even brought it up too. She was like, I thought it could be this, but nah, it's not that.
But now it also brings up a few interesting points. Because now we know that an omnipotence user can make someone else immune. So if we're operating under the assumption, like what assumption are you guys operating on? Is it where, okay, so Ada made them immune, so whatever she tries to cast, or whatever an Otsutsuki tries to cast, they'll be immune? Or do you guys think it's something that can be taken away? I feel like once you're given immunity, that's it. What do you guys think?
It could be that once you're given immunity, that's it. What I believe is that she probably believed at the first and foremost she wanted love. I think that was like the main want that she wanted back when Omnipotence was first casted. But she probably also subconsciously wanted friendship as well. This is pretty much what she said in this chapter as well. So she wanted that as well. So I believe like because the main thing in her mind was love, that's pretty much all she was thinking about. That's all that was pretty much manifested in her mind. She believed that everybody was just in love with her. But she never really thought that she actually did subconsciously want some friends. And I believe that right there is really what made them invulnerable. So I guess in a way you could say that the omnipotence user could actually make other people invulnerable to their omnipotence.
And that's my second point. Because
Yeah.
that kind of brings in holes to Momoshiki's explanation and how we could potentially circumvent omnipotence on the masses to an extent. Because if Ada has a deep desire to potentially make Boruto's loved ones immune, it could potentially happen. And I feel like we're in a situation where we have the village politics beefing up. Like we got that little Kono. I'm skipping ahead a bit, but we got that little Konohamaru interrogation arc, which I thought would be comedy. Dude even calls him an idiot, which I thought was funny. I do want Konohamaru redemption.